Good Tuesday evening, Southeast Texas. Looks like, well, probably the coolest night of the season so far expected over Southeast Texas. We expect mid-30s up in the lakes area, near 40 to the low 40s in the triangle. I think its model is a little bit cool. But patchy frost roughly from just north of Interstate 10 up in the lakes area is a possibility. I don't think it's going to be a killing frost per se. And the reason is that the air is very dry. You need a little bit more moisture than what we have to really produce widespread frost. Again, it's possible with those temperatures down in the mid 30s in the lakes area. Not expecting that here in the triangle. So after a chilly start, we're up to the mid 60s on Wednesday. Nice warming trend as we head towards Friday and Saturday. Temperatures will warm into the lower 80s as far as highs. Look at those lows through the 60s to near 70. That's well above normal. Then as we work on into, say, early next week, scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms return to the forecast as a cold front works on into the area. Otherwise, again, dry weather through the next 5 days through the weekend, and then those scattered showers and storms possible Monday and Tuesday. But one thing I want you to notice is look at the difference in the amount of precipitation or rainfall expected with the fronts. The front coming in on Tuesday. The European model doesn't show much, and the GFS showing 2.51 inches of rainfall. So a little bit of uncertainty on whether or not this front is going to have that much of a zing to it. Right now, we've got clear skies, temperatures cooling down. The cirrus and alto stratus that was over us has moved off to the east, and we're expecting with the clear skies, light winds, and dry air for temperatures to tumble overnight. Expecting those low temperatures under clear skies to again drop into the mid 30s in the lakes area, about 40 to the lower and mid 40s here in the triangle. Otherwise, after a chilly morning with jackets and coats probably needed, we'll see high temperatures warming into the mid 60s across the area. Otherwise, the reason we're seeing this a little bit of ahead of normal as far as the cool down, it's not records, but it's a little faster than normal, is this deep trough of low pressure. And that trough of low pressure brought 18 to 24 inches of snow this morning into the UP of Michigan. Freeze warnings from Atlanta back over to Birmingham, Memphis, and even parts of East Texas because of this deep northerly flow aloft. Ridge of high pressure off to the west. That's the weather pattern right now. This will all traverse on off towards the east. And by, say, the early and middle part of next week, the big question is, how strong is the next cold front going to be? Well, that remains to be seen. If this model is correct, you can see a deep trough. That would bring a strong front into our area, kind of like what we're seeing now. Model number 2 says not so fast. If this is right, then the front comes in and it's a weak front because we have a zonal flow. So which is right? That's part of the uncertainty in meteorology. All we can do at this point is basically blend modeling because we're not sure which model we'll see is correct. Basically, is it a strong trough and a strong cold front, or a zonal flow, which is from west to east, and a weak front, more of a Pacific front? So stay tuned until we can forecast and go with the model that is correct, that we think will materialize as we work on into, say, the middle and latter part of next week. Otherwise, on the Gulf of Mexico, small craft advisory will be in effect in the morning. We'll see northeasterly winds at 15 to 25, decreasing to 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Again, slightly choppy seas around 2 to 3 feet. A high tide tomorrow morning, and the water temperature down to 75. Our forecast tonight, clear skies and chilly. Again, mid 30s up in the lakes. Some patchy frost is possible. 40 along I-10 or thereabouts, into the low 40s in the triangle tomorrow. Mid 60s with sunny skies and a north to northeast wind, fairly light. So after a chilly morning Wednesday, we begin the warming trend. And again, we see those low temperatures shoot up into the 60s, and we're to near 70 by Sunday morning. Look at the highs. Lower 80s as we see a pretty decent weekend, a dry weekend. Then the big part of the uncertainty as far as the forecast goes early next week. Will this front come on in or will it stall? We're going to go with a frontal passage now with a chance of scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. And all I can do right now as we head towards late next week is kind of blend the models together. It may be a little cooler, a little warmer, depending on which model is correct. So I basically have basically average those two. So we'll go with temperatures falling into the 50s and highs in the 70s. But again, if that other model is correct, we won't see much cooling. And if the first model is correct, then we will see more like what we're seeing now late next week. Stay tuned. Download our app, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, there's more weather at 12newsnow.com.